Am I audible now? So, here we meet again. At night, I had a conflict as to how I'm going to manage my time to transfer some information regarding conflict handling with just 15 minutes. Anyway, the problem is no more a problem after Naren spoke about it. It is only a challenge. Let me meet it and face it. Thanks to Naren for that. Conflict handling styles, there are various methods. See, when an objective meets an obstacle, we are said to have we are having a conflict or we are having a problem. When an objective, meets an obstacle, you want to do something and there is an obstacle, whether it is internal or whether it's external, then there's said to be a problem, or maybe you're perceiving it as a problem. So it's a conflicting situation. So it could be an internal conflict, it could be an external conflict, it could be because of interpersonal relationship, or the reasons are umpteen number. But there are various ways in which we can solve these problems, and for each situation we might have to adopt a different strategy. So how do we make coffee, my dear friends? How do we make coffee? Boil water, add what? Salt, milk powder, okay, coffee powder, sugar, and then no gas, no cup and saucer. Okay, I just asked you to tell you that there are various ingredients that you have in the kitchen, and according to the recipe that you need, you must add it in right proportions and then serve it to the person who wants to try your food. Okay, so similarly, conflict handling skills, there are various methodologies which I'm going to share with you. Each situation is very unique and you must, actually adopt to whichever suits you and the kind of people whom you associate with. The first, strategy is avoidance. Avoidance. Okay. Whenever, suppose I'm working in an organization and I belong to X department, and a Y department person comes and says, you know what, this person has done this and what do you think about it, and I think he should not be in that post, and some sort of a grapevine kind of conversation, I would certainly avoid such a conversation, and I will just say, I'm just doing something very important and I would like to, divert myself, because I do not want to be entering, or my brand name, my name should not be associated with any negative conversations, because we're all working towards progress. So avoidance helps in such a situation. And avoidance is also equivalent to postponing. Sometimes, we need to postpone and not, think and pause before we decide something, and not give an impulsive, yes or no to certain things. And so you temporarily, you postpone. In an emotional, state of mind and imbalanced emotions, we cannot actually take the right decision. So when avoidance is postponing, and it is also sometimes, avoiding certain negative people, to not have negative attitude. There are so many ways we have to avoid the situation and move on. Competing. Competing is actually, related to aggressiveness, where one wins and the other person actually loses. This is how, the famous philosophy says. But then I would also say competing, if it didn't exist, you can look at it at a positive connotation also. If in a subtle manner, each of the facilitators who are coming here are competing for the good, to give you a better performance. Each one is trying to compete each other with showing an activity, telling you a story, and it's such a healthy competition. And if two brands are not selling the same product, and if they are not going to advertise on a competitive spirit, then what's the point? Each one comes out with some creative idea, isn't it? So, oh yeah, this brand came up with such a good advertisement. Let me think of another teaser and try to give another advertisement, and which is going to be better than my competitor. So competition can also be healthy. Competing can also be like a person is very aggressive and he wins and the other person loses. So competing is, you can take it as a conflict resolution strategy. If you want to take it positively, yeah, it helps in benchmarking ourselves. And on the other category, yes, sometimes it becomes an aggressive style. Okay. And then accommodating is adjusting. So many times, people are accommodating.